Folks, welcome back. Here we are, it is the Soul Sessions, and as you know, we are continuing our journey to episode 100. And I thought it was the best thing to do is to look back to where we began from season 1. And I think the best way to do it is someone who is still undeniable. Ashley Vega, welcome back to the Soul Sessions.
Hello, thank you for having me again. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Ashley. Now, obviously, you last appeared last year. How time flies already. So I want to know, how has this year treated you so far in the world of wrestling?
Honestly, this year's treated me very well. I've got to do so many things that I hadn't done before and work with people that I never thought I'd be able to work. And yeah, it's been such a busy but rewarding year.
Indeed, it has been. And now, obviously, the old central will crack one open and look back to what you've been doing since your last appearance. You're a wee refresher sip.
Nice. Always prepared.
I try my best. I'm always fashionable and proper with the attire. So, last year, there was a match that was building up to. The first, match between two guests on the Soul Session was you and Daisy Jenkins at formerly FPWA. Twas a Night at the Wrestling. And obviously, looking back at that match and going against Daisy in the ring, how did that, work out for you? Obviously, didn't win, but obviously that experience wrestling in Truth Nightclub, what was it like?
Yeah, it was just so much fun. The whole show in general was just such a great atmosphere. It felt like everyone that was on the show they all worked so hard to be on it, and yeah, it was just such a fun day in general. But me and Daisy only had wrestled once before, and that was her debut match, which was against me. So it was really nice to be able to do it again, after all the training that she's been doing to get better. So yeah, it was great.
No, absolutely. I mean, sort of the Trish Stratus to the Lita situation we've got here. I mean, hey, I'll take it. It's historic. Also, we have mentioned, obviously, it's formerly FPWA because now it's changed to Pro Wrestling Ready now. And I've had a few on from the school talking about the change. I want to know from yourself, though, Ashley, when that change was first announced, obviously by Andy and Johnny Lyons, were you very susceptible to the change, or do you think I've kind of grown accustomed to how the name was and I feel a connection with it?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I was more excited when they announced it because we were just getting bigger. We had the school in Fife, and we expanded and got a school just outside of Edinburgh, and Andy's done such a great job of building, FPWA, and then for him to, rebrand it into something that he wanted and that he, wanted to be his. And it's just been, we're getting more people and more new students, more trainees, and it just creates more opportunities. And I think it's great so far.
No, absolutely. I mean, I saw the grand opening of the Livingston school on the Instagram as well, and it looked like it really went well as well. And you know what? You were there as well, attending that grand opening. It must have been a great experience, right? Just to see that evolution.
Yeah, definitely. I only started maybe a year after FPWA opened. I started with Andy, and he's just so passionate about wrestling in general, and he's helped me with my confidence so much, and he pushes you to be the best version of yourself possible. So it's just he loves what he does, and it makes it so much easier for us to go and to train there. So it's nice to see that it's going and it's been more successful.
No, of course, absolutely. I mean, you guys honestly have been killing it this year. I 100% believe that with all the crossover shows, especially you've been doing New Wave and Iron Girders, it just shows that there's great talent wanting to come to Scotland. I want to know, actually, if you could pick maybe the next crossover show for Pro Wrestling Ready, which company would you want that to be the crossover show for?
Oh, I would love to see an OTT, an Irish. Yeah, I think we have to bring the Irish down, and yeah, I think that would be good. So I was recently down in OTT, and I just loved the vibes, and I think we should do Scotland and Ireland.
Hey, I'm all for it. I mean, I think a matchup I want to see now is you against Session Moth Martina.
Yes, that has been one of my dream matches for so long, and it's frustrating, but I am determined that in 2024 it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, we've had Seshimov on the show before, and as well CJ West, someone who's done stuff in OTT, and Renzo Rose. And they've talked about how they feel like, especially within the Irish scene, it's very, very prime for learning, you know, because there's so many people going out and to do many other things in other countries and bringing that knowledge back. When you went over there, Ashley, do you feel like they're true, like the Irish scene might be one of the best places to gather a worldwide knowledge of wrestling?
Yeah, 100%. You know, those 3 days down at OTT were genuinely the most fun I've had in wrestling in such a long time. It was nerve-wracking to be, you know, surrounded by so many people from, you know, all over Europe. There was people from France, Germany, Poland, and we were all just there for the same reason, which was because we loved wrestling. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of common with other the guys. You know, there was only me and one other girl that was there out of how many of us there was, but we all just got on because we loved wrestling. It was the one thing that we all had in common. So yeah, it was just such a rewarding experience. And then to be on the show, and their coaches down there, like Martina and Trent Seven was there as well. He was helping out with the seminar. So it was just like those people to learn from. And Paddy, it's just, oh, it was great. It was just there was just so much knowledge, and it was from so many different aspects and point of views. So yeah, it was just from start to finish one of the best experiences I've had. So I can't wait to go back.
Well, hey, hopefully there's no exam though, because too much knowledge that's going to be on the test.
Yes,
It's not going to be fun for that at all.
No.
But coming back to home as well, because I know there was a crossover show which I mentioned with New Wave, and I've had a lot of talent on there. Obviously, James Ellis, Aluna, Tilly Rose, Stephen Thompson. But obviously, I know when they came up here, there was a Fatal Fife-way match, and you were the only women in that match as well. And I've had a few wrestlers talking about like wrestling men and intergender wrestling in general. You know, being obviously the only women in that match, do you feel like a bit of an intimidation or like a step up factor? Like, yeah, I'm maybe the only woman, but I've got to show up now because of
yeah, definitely. Like, I was so excited to be a part of it because I hadn't done much intergender wrestling, and I've always wanted to, because at training, like when I started out, I've always trained with men. I've always trained with guys. There was never as many girls. And so I was so used to wrestling guys, but when you're on shows, you know, you're always in with a girl. And I just love intergender wrestling. It's just fun, and I get to at training when I'm wrestling like my friends. It's just fun. It's like it doesn't make any difference that they're guys, and it doesn't feel any different. So I'd love to do more of it, and hopefully I get to do more next year. But it definitely felt like a level up. Like, yeah, I'm just as good as the guys in this match, and that's why I've been chosen. So it was a good experience.
Aye, fair true indeed. And a good experience could be a good learning opportunity. Would you recommend maybe to someone like intergender wrestling would be a very good learning opportunity?
Yes, 100%. It's just, you know, people have their thoughts and opinions on it. But I think it's just fun, you know. Whenever I'm wrestling at training, I wrestle the guys, and they're my friends, and we get on, and it's just, yeah, you know, we just get it. And I would encourage people to do it. It's just such a great learning experience to learn from all different types of people. And so yeah, I would encourage it.
No, absolutely. And I mean, besides that, you've had some great opponents this year as well. I know you've faced the likes of Molly Spartan and Emersyn James as well. You know, goddamn hell of a wrestlers in themselves as well. Especially with like the contrast to Molly and Emersyn, I think is very different. They're very different styles of wrestlers. I know for yourself, actually, facing these two in the ring, obviously at different times, what's something you take away from the experience against Molly and something you take away from the experience against Emersyn?
Yeah, so I had never wrestled Molly before, so that was a whole new experience. And she's strong, and she is really good at what she does. We've seen her. She's been ICW Women's Champion. She's done so many successful things and wrestled in so many places. So it was good to finally wrestle her one-on-one. Learning experience-wise, I kind of learned that I am, I can use somebody stronger than me. I have different advantages I can use against them. And so I just stick with that. I'm maybe not the strongest, but I'll have different ways to catch someone off guard. And with Emersyn, the last time that we wrestled was 2018, 2019. And then to now getting to wrestle her again. She's a deathmatch wrestler. She's wrestling in America. She's doing all these crazy things. So on that way, it was really intimidating at points, but it felt rewarding and it felt right. It felt like I deserved to be fighting people with a standard and show, I might not have won away, won the match, but I tried my best and I was able to put up a fight. So that's the learning parts you can take from it is that you are better than what you think.
Absolutely. I mean, any learning opportunity to stand against someone who's done a death match, I won't lie, I probably would have shit myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my side, I'm gonna sit to the side, my sort of forte. But also, in Scotland we've had a deathmatch company start up that's basically centered around this called Bleeding Gums Wrestling.
Yeah.
Would that be ever something you'd be interested in, do you think, Ashley?
Never say never. I think if there was a good enough reason to do it, I would do it. Mm-hmm. If I was, wrestling with someone and had a lot of hatred for someone, I think it would be a lot easier to do. So possibly, if there was a reason behind it, I would do it.
So Daisy Jenkins versus Ashley Vega free at deathmatch?
Yes, we may as well. We may as well.
Yeah, I think it just shows as well how pick and mix like the Scottish scene right now is with so many different flavors of wrestling. We mentioned there, Discovery, Community Pro, Iron Girders, ICW, Pro 2, and just Pro Wrestling Ready. Do you feel like in 2024, Ashley, that this is going to be like the shining moment of the Scottish scene?
Yeah, I hope so. I think there's so many companies out now. I don't think there's ever been as many places or opportunities to wrestle than there is at this moment, which is obviously great for people coming in. So that's great, and hopefully we can just build on it. And for example, Community Pro are doing amazing things down in not even just Glasgow, like all over Scotland, and selling out every show at PWR, selling out every single show. It's just, there's many places that are doing their bit in Scottish wrestling and making it worthwhile.
Hey, absolutely true. I mean, they just had their women champion be crowned in Ellie Armstrong, so I want to know.
Yes,
that title's definitely going to be in your eyes now. That pink strap around your shoulder.
Oh yes, as soon as I saw that, it was mine, and I know that Ellie, I've already got my eyes on it, and we've wrestled before, and I think I stand a very, very, very good chance against yourself for the belt. So,
Well, I'm off to the bookies right now to get my best. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make some money. Obviously, as I mentioned before, our Scottish scene really is thriving because good old TNA, well, TNA now, Impact, they came over and did their whole thing. I believe you went to the gut checks. I saw this. Do you want the gut check?
Yes, I was there.
Hey,
I was there.
I was right. My eyes weren't failing me in my old age. Yes. I did see you on the video.
Yes, I was in that.
What was that like?
It was, it was a really good experience. Getting to learn, not even just learn, just be able to perform in front of people like Gil Cam and stuff. And it was, very humbling. And just the whole experience was challenging and it was hard, but it was very, rewarding and made you very proud of yourself to think, you know, I've been able to do this, and you know, it might not be my chance now, but you know, I've jumped that first hurdle and more determined. So yeah, it was a really good experience, I think, for everyone involved.
No, absolutely. I mean, I know now could definitely be a yes in the future, but you took the first step there and going for it, and that's something you got to be proud of, honestly. Because I remember when you were last on, you talked about how that TNA knockouts era was so special to you. So, I mean, obviously with the show as well that they did in Glasgow was phenomenal. I know a lot of people loved it, but obviously to like just see people like Scott D'Amore, Josh Alexander, Joe Hendry, and obviously Gail Kim, starstruck moment, right?
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was great. It's, you know, something I'm really proud of that I've been able to do. And it makes me feel, you know, more ready for whenever the next chance may be. So yeah, I think it was great. Yeah, I can't wait for more.
Hey, more will be coming because obviously, you know, they're back to TNA as well, and
yes,
on that whole nostalgia as well. And the Trinity, the women's champion Jordan Grace, will be the first TNA pay per view in so many years now.
Yeah.
What do you think them going back to the TNA name is a really good company wide move? Because obviously, some people say, "Oh, that era," you know, they need to think of Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, and Dixie Carter going absolutely mental on the whole product. But I think, from personally my experience, I think that the TNA resonates with like a lot of good times. You know, AJ Styles, you know, this Kurt Angle coming in and just changing the whole playing field. To the fans who maybe think, "Oh, I'm not sure about going back to the TNA name," how would you convince them that it is a good move?
I think, you know, for so long I started with TNA, and it was. I have so many good memories of it. You know, just even just watching it and the whole knockouts division, and when it was TNA, it was just such. It was genuinely like one of my favorite eras in wrestling, and it was just, yeah, it was just the best, and I loved watching it and growing up with it. I felt really lucky to be able to watch it and grow up. I remember like Aces and Eights, AJ Styles was. I've just loved it. Willow when it was Jeff Hardy, and yeah, like everything about it is just so iconic, and you know, they were Impact for a long time, but I think I don't see it as them trying to step back in time. I kind of see it as, you know, that was what they first were. They were TNA, and I think going back to their roots, and you know, is really special, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's amazing. I don't see it as them doing anything else other than remembering where they came from and just building on it.
Yeah, it's very much a homage to your roots and where you came from, and now doing so many great things. And I wanted to ask, no, Ashley, do you think they're going to bring back the six-sided ring?
Maybe. I think they might do it for like a pay-per-view or something. Permanently, I don't know, but I think they'll definitely bring it back for like a. Well, I'd like to see them bring it back for like a pay-per-view or something. You know, you never know.
Well, you never know. Maybe we might get the reverse battle royale back or something like that just for fun.
Yes.
Hey, I'll take a nice, fun reverse battle royale just for the shits and giggles as well. But obviously, you know, TNA wrestling in general, so many great stories. You know, like one of the best mediums, I think, for stories. But another one I love personally is good old anime. I think that's got some hell of a stories in it. I know you're a fan of it as well, and the old Death Note as well.
Yes.
So I'm going to throw a controversial opinion. Do you like the Netflix adaptation?
No.
Oh, I do. I actually do.
I don't. Well, I like the series, but the movie. No, that was a big no.
Oh, but you weren't a fan of Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, you know, and blonde-haired Light Yagami just doing his own little thing.
I didn't.
Oh, I can feel the disgust. Like this, the tension's coming through my laptop now. I think I might be frying the battery soon enough. Now we got to keep that down. But also, Death Note, so many great characters. As I mentioned, Ryuk, you know, Light Yagami, and so many more. I want to know: is there maybe a entrance gear inspiration coming for the future from any of those characters?
You know, I've thought about it. Misa is like my favorite, so that might be something I do. I do like getting inspirations from different things for my gear. So yeah, you know, maybe next year I'll possibly bring it out.
Well, who knows? Maybe you do something like Al Snow. Instead of people have styrofoam heads, they could have apples. They just, bounce up and
Apples,
down.
yes.
I'm just saying, look, you get some T-shirts and all that. You get the merch. Big Cartel store will be going absolutely flying with all the stuff on it
For
as
the app.
well.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's a great idea.
Hey, copyright, associations.
Yeah.
10% cut. I'm just money.
Yes.
But obviously, I know you do have a Big Cartel store as well, and something you offer is was it a Kiss autograph on it? I mean, isn't that a reference to like something the Divas did, if I'm correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the Divas used to have like Kiss cards back in the day, as like almost like collective playing cards, but it was like a Kiss, and I thought it was just such like a little. It was just so goofy, and I thought no one was really doing it, and I kind of thought it was a great idea, and I was like, yeah, I'll just bring it back. I loved them. So I thought, it's very nostalgic. So yeah.
Oh, fair play. Is there any other maybe old kind of merch things you maybe want to capitalize on, get into that market and be like, ah ha ha?
I've not thought about anything else too much apart from the photos, but something people do get on at me is about t-shirts. So I do need to see about getting those soon. I have ideas. So yeah.
Well, hey, we can't reveal the ideas. We've got to keep those secret now because we don't want any third-party wish.com trying to steal those and get fakes.
No.
Now we need to keep that under lid, and that's something we'll keep very special as well. But also, especially not even just for Scotland, the whole UK scene is just it's exploding. So many great things have happened since you've been on as well. Mind the Bank by WWE, John Cena coming in and saying, "Hey, WrestleMania UK, why not? Let's have some fun."
Yeah.
AEW All In as well happened in Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, hey, I'm just absolutely mental at this point. It's just so great to see. But WrestleMania UK, look, as I've said before, many episodes, I'm spoiled. I just want it to be in Scotland. Screw the 8 travel train ride.
Yeah.
I want it outside my house. That's easy convenient for me. But I want to know, Ashley, do you think there's maybe a certain place in the UK that will really thrive from a WrestleMania type vibe?
I would love if it was Scotland, obviously. I think just even the live shows when they were in Glasgow, they are absolutely mental. Like, there is just, you never know what's going to happen or what the crowds are going to chant in Scotland. It could be very rude and you can't put it on TV. So I just like the whole aspect of it is just funny to me that it would be if it was here. But I honestly, I think it would be a London or something would probably, they'll get it as usual. And yeah, I'll still make the journey, but
yeah, absolutely.
So,
everyone will make the journey. There's only 2 enemies of that whole entire weekend: beer prices and Ticketmaster. They're our 2 biggest enemies of the entire wrestling weekend. Absolutely. Oh God, I'm scared for All In's ticket prices tomorrow. I'm just saying, I'm shaking. Calm them down. But obviously, as well, WrestleMania in the UK, we could feature so many great matches. Home talent as well. Big old Drew McIntyre, get him on the card. Sheamus, the Brawling Brutes as well. Even someone like Nikki Cross as well, just being having an appearance to celebrate that kind of UK, acceptance and awesomeness that we have. I want to know from yourself, Ashley. Obviously, besides yourself being on the show, is there any UK talent right now you would love to see get that kind of stage?
Yeah, I think, Emersyn James is someone who's deserved it, and to see her get an opportunity at, Impact with Trinity was, really, really nice to see. So I think, she deserves all the opportunities, and she's definitely at that level where she can compete with people like Trinity. So I'd like to see her do something, even I think more with Impact, and just show how good she is and how good the women in Scotland can be. I think would be, I think she would deserve an opportunity, at that stage.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great to see indeed. WrestleMania in the UK, it was a grand stage of all because, we've seen recently with Survivor Series, it was last night. Yeah, it was actually last night. Randy Orton's back, R-Truth's back.
Yes.
CM Punk back in the WWE after 9 years. Like, I won't lie, when I looked up and saw my phone, I thought I was still dreaming and thinking, it's one of those dreams again. We're just gonna go back down. But I mean,
yeah,
it's men. I can't believe it. Like, honestly, I thought he was done. I mean, for yourself, actually seeing Punk, someone who was in AEW, Wembley, and their biggest show, maybe like 2 months ago, now back in the WWE. This is like one of those, hell freezes over moment, right?
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. I didn't expect it personally, so it was a bit of a surprise. But yeah, it's just, exciting times in wrestling. There's just, you never know what's going to happen. There's so many big companies now, and there's just so many opportunities, and it's just, you never know what's going to happen or who's going to go where.
Well, hey, true indeed. And I know you love the divas there, so I'm thinking maybe in the future, would you love to see Seth freaking Rollins and Becky Lynch in a mixed tag versus CM Punk and AJ Lee?
I would love that. Yes. Well, we get it, possibly. But, there's already rumours of AJ Lee, and, that would be great to see as well.
Hey, as you said, never say never. But obviously, there's so many other great women wrestlers in WWE now. Who would you like to see AJ Lee share a ring with if she does come back?
Oh, I think, Rhea Ripley is obviously one of the top women on the WWE roster. And I think, they would work well together, and it would just be fun to see, those two kind of different styles of wrestlers from different eras. She was definitely the top when she was Divas champion, and now that, ever since Rhea's won the champion, she's been kind of the top woman. So it'd be good to see a little crossover of different eras. Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm fine with that, but would you want to see something crazy, like see if AJ does win that Women's World Heavyweight Championship, bring back the butterfly belt just for good old times?
Yes, absolutely. People have their thoughts and opinions on the Divas belt, but I personally loved it. I thought it was just a belt, and it was pretty, and it was so many women who held it that were like made such impact. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Well, all I know is WWE Shop are soon going to get replicas up. They'll have them. They'll be flying off the shelf, and it's just like, good old times. Let's get the merch selling and have a good old time. We love to see that indeed. But obviously, AEW as well, they're doing some great stuff as well. What they're doing, I mean, even with some people saying the product's a bit on ice right now, but, time will tell. They're going to come back for All In next year. And I want to know from yourself, Ashley, is there some sort of dream match we'd love to see in that Wembley environment from AEW?
Yes. Right now, Mariah May has just recently joined, and I would love to see her and Tony. I don't know where they're going just now with the story, but it would be, I think that would be really good to see. She's been doing so well in Japan, and Tony's been doing so well with being timeless Tony, and I think that would be a really interesting match.
I mean, hey, if they do it maybe like a silent picture match, I mean, I would be
Yes.
absolutely hilarious.
I would love that.
But obviously, another big British star part of AEW now is Will Ospreay. I mean, do you think Wembley would be his time to take the title and become AEW World Heavyweight Championship?
I don't see why not. Will's phenomenal and has a big fan base of people who support and love his style. So I think it would be one of those kind of moments that everyone would go crazy. So yeah, why not?
Hey, I'll take it. Look, 80,000 drunk people singing Elevated.
Yeah.
Like a moment and a half there. I'll take that. But also, you mentioned Mariah May there, and her and Tony and so many other great women wrestlers done time in Stardom. And it seems like Stardom, especially, is one of those key learning aspects for women wrestlers. It's just what you can gather there from the crowd and the knowledge. That's going to be something on your radar in the future, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be able to go down there and train and wrestle with their the girls down there, you know, they're all so good. So it would be challenging, but it would also be a really good learning experience. And from whatever, you know, everyone else that's been down there has always just had good things to say.
Hey, absolutely indeed. And obviously, actually, as we were recording this, Pro Wrestling Radio are doing "'Tis Was a Night at the Wrestling 2." And we are having an all-female Fatal Fife-way match. Now, obviously, at the moment, one participant is a mystery, so we'll leave that to the end. But there's others. So I want to go through them and get your thoughts on this opponent and what you feel, you know, what they bring to the ring and how you're going to beat them and maybe become the new hardest woman in Fife. Because, hey, guest of the show, I'll get my support. I mean, even if Daisy's in there, I got to be neutral. You know, I'll be best I can.
Okay, that's fair.
As I can. Obviously, someone we've talked about quite a fair bit, Emersyn James, is going to be in this. I got to know, you've against her before, but there's other women in this match. Do you think it's going to be less of a challenge now to maybe pin Emersyn James?
Yes, you know, it's going to be difficult because we don't really know what to expect. So is it a good thing that there's more women, or should there, you know, I don't know, but I mean, I think I've got a good chance. There's you know, you don't know what to expect from your likes of Kate because she's never wrestled before, so you don't know what to expect in that sense. So that can be a bit scary, but you know, I think there's opportunities will arise, and I'll take them when I can.
Hey, fair play indeed. And also, you mentioned Kate Calloway there, who's, you know, someone's going to be in this match, and, you know, someone who I'm not familiar with myself. So if you can introduce, you know, Kate to myself and the viewers, you know, what do you think Kate brings into this match?
You know, Kate's been training a lot and obviously earned her opportunity to be on the show. So this is the first time we'll see her. So yeah, she's been, you know, just training with Andy, and she's worked her way up to get to make her debut. So, you know, it's exciting. You don't know what to expect from someone like this. That could be a good thing for them and also a bad thing because people can, you know, abuse the idea that this is their first match, or they can take it in a sense of they don't know what to expect from me. So they can whip out anything and we won't know because, you know, it's their first. No one knows what to expect. No one knows them. So it's, yeah, we kind of just need to see how it goes in that way.
No, fair do indeed. And obviously, the current hardest person in Fife, old rival, old guest of the show, Daisy Jenkins.
Yes.
This seems like, you know, never will pass, will cross. I mean, history's here, actually. History is here.
Yeah, you know, like I said earlier, I mean, Daisy's debut match was with myself, and yeah, it was fun, and to wrestle Dirt Truth after doing that, and then, you know, just be able to train with her all the time, and it's been fun because she has the same amount of love and passion for it as I do. But you know, there's only one spot, and as much as I respect her, I have to do what's best for me. And so if that means doing whatever I need to do to become and take that title, then, you know, I'll need to do it, unfortunately. But that's just kind of how it is.
Hey, it's like the saying, you got to step up or you get stepped on, you know.
Well, yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. But obviously, as of right now, there's a mystery person, you know, one final spot unfilled at the time we were recording. I would like to know, if you got to, you know, handpick somebody to fill that slot, who would you want to fill that final slot in the Fatal Fife-way?
I think someone who I haven't been in the ring with for a long time is, and someone who else is one of the top in Scotland. I think it would only be fair to have the best in the match, and I think Casey would be a good addition to the match. You know, you kind of have to to beat the best, to be the best. So, you know, having Emersyn there, then why not have Casey as well?
Oh, damn. Hopefully, I wish there was a Ring of Honor match now so we could just have the streamers going in and be like, yeah, this is, get the barricades bumping because shit is about to hit the fan. Still love to see it. But obviously, another match is happening on the twice night of Christmas too. Frank Gallo, Andy Roberts for Andy's championship. Now, obviously, at Truth or Dare, you know, the fans, the people, they got to vote Andy's opponent, and it was Frank. I want to know, Ashley, you know, opening up to the floor, you're on the spot. Who do you want to win the championship? Andy retain or Frank Gallo take it away to whatever place he likes to go to?
Yeah, I mean, Frank has done very well since he's debuted. He's won over the crowd. You know, everyone's a fan of him. And, you know, I see why he's so entertaining to watch. But he also does well in the ring. You know, he backs himself up. And, you know, there's so many reasons why he deserves the opportunity. But it will be interesting to see how he copes with the pressure. It's, you know, going to be definitely the biggest match of his career so far. But, you know, he's going in with someone who's coached them. And that's, you know, an advantage in itself. You know how they are, how they work. So you never know what could happen.
Yeah, very true. The lessons of the teacher could be, you know, the benefit of the student.
Yeah.
You just don't know what could happen there. But let's say in a hypothetical world, Andy still retains the championship over Frank. You know, he's done. Andy still gets the belt. Is there somebody you would love to see Andy match up with in the ring to defend his championship?
You know, he's wrestled so many, like, recently, such as, you know, Rampage Brown and Wild Boar. So it's been, you know, they've kind of been like dream matches in itself. So, you know, I don't know who else. I would like to see Andy against Trent Seven.
Ooh.
You know, two big heavyweights just going at it for, you know, I think that has to happen.
Yeah, I would absolutely take that in a heartbeat. But obviously, Ashley, it's been really great having you back on the Soul Sessions. But before we go wrap up, 2 questions for you. 2 final ones, and my time is done, and I will nick the 6 beers that are lying around me right now. It's a Sunday night. Why no? I was talking about a dream match for you, maybe against Seshimov Martina. But I want to know, would you want that to have that in Scotland and have the crowd behind you? Or would you want to go over to Ireland and face a Martina crowd?
You know, I would love to go back to OTT. My time in Ireland was so much fun, and I would go back in a heartbeat. So I would not be against doing it over in Ireland. Again, it would be great to have it here and have the crowd for me, but Ireland is just very special, and you know, I think doing it at an OTT, or if we were to do it here, I'd love to do it with Pro Wrestling Ready, Power Pro. So yeah, that would be the options.
Hey, I mean, as long as you enter into another beat like Martina does, and we can have an absolute club off, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like Clubland 89 all over again. The good old show my age, though. Come on now, bring me back to 2005. Good times, man. Oh, it breaks the heart. But obviously, you know, the future, 2024 is coming. I mean, it's, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours away, maybe at this point. Who knows what's happening in the world this day and age?
Yeah.
I want to know 3 things on your list to achieve in 2024.
I think overall, I just want to have fun and enjoy it, and appreciate it more. Sometimes I don't really sit back enough and realize what I've done and what I've accomplished. So yeah, reflect more. And I want to, you know, we mentioned earlier about championships. would be something I want to achieve, is win my first title, and wrestle outside of the UK. We'll do that next year, I hope. So yeah, that's what I would say so far.
Hey, actually, who knows? Maybe you could all achieve that in one match. You have fun against Martina, you get to wrestle outside Scotland, and you get to beat her for the OTT Women's Championship. I mean, 3-1.
That's let's do it.
That's like Sainsbury's best value there. I mean, geez. Hey, it's achievable. You never know in the world of professional wrestling. But Ashley, thank you so much for coming here back on the Soul Sessions as we continue our journey to episode 100. But obviously, what I do with every guest, and I know you've done it in the past, but if people have loved what they heard of you, want to see your career, where can they find you?
So all my social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, are at Ashley Vega UK.
Well, folks, I know in this day and age, people are a bit lazy. So, you don't want to exercise. You'll just be in your recliner, lie back until the days are done. You won't cook a food because you'll get delivery or Uber Eats and you'll be racking up the delivery charges. So I'll make it kind for you. I will have Ashley Vega's Instagram in the description of this video. You can click it and follow her journey. Well, I would, folks, I would do the whole YouTuber stick, but come on, YouTube's been around since 2005. I have some faith that you all know what you're doing. Well, folks, thank you for tuning in for another episode of The Souls